Hi, my name is Sahira, and welcome to my online belly dance studio. Welcome back. Today's move is one of my favorites. It's called the inner hip roll, or you can also think of it as a vertical figure eight. So let's go ahead and start by looking at the two basic isolations that are needed to create this move, the hip slide and the oblique lift. You may already be familiar with the hip slide, but let's go ahead and review it quickly. In our belly dance posture, the hip slide is just a parallel to the floor movement that goes side to side. The goal here is to keep the movement parallel to the floor by not bending and straightening the knees too much while you do the movement. So you're using your obliques to slide the hips side to side. Upper body stays steady. Knees and toes are in alignment. So this is the first movement we're going to use to build our inner hip roll. The second isolation you'll need to build your inner hip roll is an oblique lift. So go ahead and put your weight onto one foot. Use the other foot just for balance. Don't put any weight here in that right foot. And go ahead and squeeze that right oblique to lift the hip up and in towards the center of your body. So I'm squeezing that oblique, lifting the hip up and in towards the center of my body, really using it muscularly. We're going to use the muscle within this movement, but it'll be even easier because within the movement itself, we're going to be able to use the floor to help lift our hip as well. So I'm squeezing and releasing that external oblique to lift the right hip up and in towards me. Let's go ahead and try that on the other side. So weight on the right foot, using the left foot just for balance. Be sure that that right knee is still slightly bent, and squeezing and releasing the left oblique to lift the left hip up and in towards the center of the body. Squeezing and releasing, lifting that hip up, keeping that right knee soft, keeping your pelvis tucked. Awesome. So those are our two isolations that we'll need. From here, we're going to go ahead and create our inner hip roll. The inner hip roll is going to start with a slide out to the side. From here, we're going to lift our hip up and over, and you're going to go ahead and use the heel to push off the ground as you lift the hip up and in towards the center of your body. So now your right hip is really lifted because your heel is pushed off the ground, your hips are at an angle, you're going to slide through to the other side. So there's your slide, though it's at an angle now. And once your weight is fully on that left foot and you've extended the hip out to the left as far as you can, you're going to go ahead and lift that left heel up off the ground and pull the left hip up and in towards the center of your body. So now my left hip is higher than my right. I'm at an angle. I'm going to slide through at an angle, pushing out to the right, pushing out of the floor with my heel, lifting that right hip up, sliding through at an angle. If you can get a little plie as you come to the other side, it makes the move even bigger. And you're sort of rolling your weight from your pinky toe to your big toe, from your pinky toe to your big toe as you push that heel up off the floor. So this movement has a little bit of a lift to it because you're going ahead and using the heel to help lift your hip up and in, up and in. So this is a vertical figure eight parallel to the mirror that slides out, lifts up, pulls in. Go ahead and use that internal oblique to pull the hip in through the center, being sure to keep the hips tucked underneath you all time. Pushing out, up and in. Pushing out, up and in. So hip slides out. Heel pushes up. Oblique squeezes in, slide through to the other side. Hip slides out. Heel pushes up. Oblique squeezes in, slide through to the other side. Up and over. Up and over. A little plie in the middle makes it a little gooier, a little juicier. Up and over. Up and over, up and over, up and over. Let me show you an arm variation on this that we'll use when we drill this with music. Arms are down to the side. There's always a little space underneath the armpit so that you keep nice posture in your arms. Your elbows are slightly lifted. What we're doing here is we're using the hands to mirror the hip movement by pulling out with the wrist, letting the fingers trail behind, pushing in with the wrist, letting the fingers trail behind. Pushing out with the wrist, letting the fingers trail behind, pulling in with the wrist. Most of the time when we move our arms in belly dance, you think about pushing with the wrist and letting the fingers trail behind. So if you want to try the arms without the hips, most of the movement is coming from my elbow down to my fingertips. My shoulders and my elbows are pretty much stationary. Less is more when it comes to arms. The hips are the main attraction here. So if we're here with the left, and the right, and the left, and the right. So this is your inner hip roll with an arm variation. I call these seaweed hands, because it's like seaweed in the ocean. And let's go ahead and try drilling that with music. Finding your belly dance posture, knees are soft, pelvis is tucked, chest is lifted, arms are going to be down in a very low second, down in first position. Here we go. Right, left, right, left. Good. Right, right, and left. Right, and left. Using the floor. Use the floor to push that hip up and in towards you. Let's try a couple with the arms in second. Left and right. Use the oblique to pull in. Let's try a slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. So there's slow, slow. Now, quick, quick, slow. Do it again. We're going slow. Slow. Quick, quick, slow. With the hands. Slow. Slow. Quick, quick, slow. Looking good. Slow. Slow. Quick, quick, slow. Hold it here with the quick. Arms in second. Left and right. Left and right. Try and keep that upper body fairly steady. Let's do 4 more. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is your inner hip roll or your vertical figure 8. Thanks for joining me.